The judge's voice sliced through the heavy silence like a blade. The courtroom, already tense, tightened further. Curious eyes scanned the room, arms folded, breath held, everyone packed shoulder to shoulder, waiting for the show to begin. To the left sat Marcus, tall, broad-shouldered, his skin a deep brown, county green draped over his frame, long dreads hanging down, wrists shackled in front of him. On the other side, Officer Bailey stood rigid in his uniform, jaw clenched so tight it looked like he was chewing nails. The bailiff stepped forward, gripped the thin plastic hood covering Marcus's face, and pulled. It crumpled as it hit the floor. Marcus blinked against the sudden light. His expression didn't change. He stared straight ahead with calm defiance. "Court is now in session," Judge Alden declared, lowering himself into the high-backed chair at the bench. "Everyone please rise." Chairs scraped. Shoes shuffled. A hush blanketed the courtroom like fog. Moments later, the judge gave the signal to sit. Judge Alden wasted no time. "Mr. Harris, you may begin. But if you do anything stupid, we'll put the hood back on and you'll be escorted out. Understood?" Marcus nodded. "Yes, Your Honor." His voice was steady, not angry, just grounded in something deeper. Dignity. "Before we dive in, where are you tuning in from? Drop your city or country below. If you believe in justice, like and subscribe for more real stories that need to be heard." The judge leaned forward. "In your own words, explain what happened." Marcus took a breath. "Sir, all I know is I was minding my business in my own space, doing my thing. Then this officer walks up and starts asking me questions. I didn't feel the need to respond because I wasn't doing anything wrong. There was no reason to stop me, so yeah, I can't help but feel like it was racially motivated." Judge Alden jotted something down. "And where exactly were you when this happened?" "I was sitting on a park bench, meditating. That's it. He came up and interrupted me. Startled me, actually. When I opened my eyes, he was just standing there, staring down at me." Marcus's voice rang across the room. I looked at him like he was out of his mind. Like, "What are you doing? You see me sitting here." I paused, thinking, what's the issue? Then out of nowhere, he starts firing off questions, and I'm just sitting there thinking, what's going on right now? Have you ever been singled out for absolutely no reason? What would you do if a stranger with power just targeted you out of nowhere? The judge tapped his pen thoughtfully, brows narrowing. "And at that point, what did you do next?" Marcus kept his tone even. "At that point, I started to feel threatened. So I told him straight, I feel unsafe and I don't have to answer your questions. Call a supervisor." A few heads turned in the gallery. Low murmurs buzzed through the air like static. Marcus continued, the air thickening around him. And I guess that set him off because that's when he lost it. Totally went off the rails. Suddenly accused me of committing some kind of crime. I was just trying to keep my peace. You ever try to keep your cool only for someone to flip the script on you? What would you do in that seat? Stand your ground or walk away? Judge Alden raised a brow. "The truth is, you're saying you still don't even know what you were accused of?" Marcus's voice dipped with frustration. He said there was some kind of witness, but no, sir. I still don't know what I supposedly did. Judge Alden leaned forward, voice sharp. "I'm sorry. So you're telling this court you were accused of crime, but you don't know what that crime was?" Marcus shook his head. "No, he never told me anything. I'm standing here today, and I still don't know why I was arrested." The judge's pen froze. "Just to clarify, you were taken into custody and never informed of the charges?" "That's exactly what I'm saying. I didn't receive any paperwork. Nothing." From across the aisle, Officer Bailey straightened, arms crossed. "That's not accurate, sir." The judge turned his attention. "Okay, Officer Bailey, can you explain what happened?" Bailey's voice was crisp. "Yes, Your Honor. We received a call reporting suspicious activity." There had been a reported kidnapping in the same area where this gentleman was sitting on a park bench. He matched the description of the suspect. Bailey continued quickly, not missing a beat. There was also a robbery reported nearby. Same vicinity. I saw this man sitting there with his eyes closed. I didn't know what he was doing at the time. A woman in the park reported suspicious activity. Based on that, I approached and detained him. He matched the description, and he confessed to the whole thing. So I'm not sure where this other version is coming from. The courtroom went still. All eyes volleyed between Marcus and Bailey, the weight of the accusation pressing down like gravity. Okay. If you think stories like this need to be heard, hit like and subscribe to support the channel. Every voice matters. The judge raised a hand. Sorry, Officer Bailey. When you say he confessed, Marcus muttered under his breath. The judge turned quickly. Hold on, sir. Please remember what I said earlier. The tension could have shattered glass. The judge refocused. Officer Bailey, when exactly did this confession take place? At the scene or somewhere else? At the precinct, Bailey answered swiftly. That's where he agreed. I see. So, when you brought him into the precinct, did he make the statement right away, or was he taken to an interview room first? Yes, sir. We took him into the interview room. That's where the conversation happened. Were there any other officers present? No, sir. Just me and Mr. Harris. All right. Walk us through what else happened. Bailey sat up straighter. While I was making the arrest at the park, the suspect spat on me, verbally assaulted me, called me things I won't repeat here in court. It was completely unacceptable. The judge's face gave nothing away. Understood. You also mentioned a witness earlier. Can you clarify that? Yes, sir. A woman in the park reported suspicious activity. I spoke with her directly. She pointed to Mr. Harris as the person she saw. Based on that, I acted accordingly. Ever witnessed someone double down on a story even when the facts don't add up? What would you do if you were in Marcus's shoes, listening to this unfold? Mas. Judge Alden nodded slowly, mind clearly turning over the details. The courtroom held its breath. Finally, the judge leaned back, lips pressed together in thought. You could hear the tick of the clock on the wall. Then he spoke, slow and deliberate. I understand that. But let me ask you something, officer. How did you make the leap from a man quietly sitting on a park bench with his eyes closed to deciding he was your suspect for robbery and kidnapping? I get that you said he fit the description. But beyond that, what else led you to conclude he was your guy? Bailey didn't blink. He confessed. He confessed, the judge repeated, narrowing his eyes. Bailey nodded. He said he didn't know what he was doing. But I mean, just look at him. He matched the description. What more do you expect me to do? That's my job as a police officer. Officer Bailey barked, desperation starting to crack through his formal tone. Ma. Judge Alden frowned, flipping slowly through his notes, expression unreadable. I don't have the dispatch call from that day, officer. There's nothing here detailing the exact suspect description. So frankly, I can't confirm whether he matched it at all. And I don't have a photo of what he looked like at the time either. Bailey jumped in, his voice tight with rising frustration. He's a black male sitting alone on a bench in a predominantly white neighborhood. He looked suspicious. His eyes were closed. It just didn't look right. The judge's gaze sharpened like a blade. Sir, are you saying that simply being black in a majority white area makes someone suspicious? He let the weight of the question hang before pressing harder. Mango Park is predominantly white. Are you suggesting that every black person within the city limits should be treated as a suspect? Bailey shifted in his seat, visibly sweating. No, But the judge cut him off, eyes burning now. Let me ask you something. I, Judge James Porter Alden, live in Mango Park. Are you saying that if I were sitting on a park bench with my eyes closed, I'd look suspicious too? The courtroom held its breath. Bailey's face flushed, his voice cracking. What I'm saying is, he matched the description. He was wearing tattered clothes with holes in them. I don't know anyone in that neighborhood who looks like that. And yes, he confessed to the robbery and the kidnapping. Judge Alden pounced. You stated this confession occurred in the interview room? Yes, sir, Bailey replied quickly. Are you aware that the interview room is equipped with surveillance cameras at all times? A huff. Yes, sir. Are you also aware that those cameras activate automatically the moment someone enters the room? Yes, sir. And are you aware that those cameras record everything, every word, every movement, once the room is occupied? Of course, sir. The judge leaned forward, voice low and lethal. Are you aware that I have a monitor right here, and that with a single word I can ask my assistant Mike to press play, and show this entire courtroom exactly what occurred in that interview room? The tension in the air was electric. Heads turned toward the monitor. For a moment, all sound evaporated. If you were sitting in that courtroom, would you want that footage to play? Or would you be terrified of what it might reveal? And if you believe the truth should always come out, smash that like button and subscribe to hear more real stories like this. With a nod from the judge, Mike leaned in and silently tapped the button. The monitor blinked to life. There on screen was Marcus, seated quietly in the interview room, hands folded. No shouting, no spit, no confession. Just a confused, still man blinking at Officer Bailey as he paced the room and questioned him. The gallery rustled, gasps and murmurs filling the room as the truth played itself out in crisp audio and clear video. Bailey's face drained of color. He put on a show for the camera, he stammered. He knew there were cameras. He was faking it. Unmoved, the judge stared him down. I didn't see the part where he confesses. Did you? No one spoke. The judge looked around, letting the silence drive the point home. Hey, he's not confessing to anything, the judge said, voice dry. But you said under oath that he did. Bailey stuttered. Yes, sir, but something must be wrong with the audio. Maybe the video cut out. I don't know, but he confessed. He did confess to me. The judge pressed on, tone sharpening like a chisel on stone. Did you not just watch the same video as the rest of us? I don't think we watched the whole video, sir, Bailey mumbled. You said he confessed to robbery and kidnapping, but clearly he didn't do that here. So when exactly did that happen? He did, sir. I think the audio must have cut off, or... A wave of disbelief rippled through the courtroom. Have you ever seen someone keep lying, even when they know they've been caught? What would you do if you were Marcus, watching your life hinge on a lie? Judge Alden didn't flinch. I'm reviewing the police report. It states a full confession was made, in that interrogation room. Bailey nodded weakly. Yes, sir. But I don't see any sign of aggression from Mr. Harris. None of the behavior you described is in the footage. In fact, it shows the opposite. Bailey tried again. Sir, with all due respect, technology can malfunction. Now the judge's patience snapped. You also claimed there was a witness. So where is that witness? There's no statement, no appearance, no testimony. Bailey opened his mouth, but the judge held up a hand. Don't. Just don't. So now I must ask myself, why was this man even arrested in the first place? Was it because he's black? The courtroom erupted in whispers. Bailey seemed to shrink in his seat. You gonna take his word over mine? He muttered bitterly. Judge Alden's voice was like steel. Officer Bailey, you're walking a very fine line. This is a courtroom, not a platform for your ego. You will respect this process, or you will be held in contempt and jailed like anyone else who breaks the law. He leaned in. This isn't about sides. It's not even about race. It's about facts. And here's the fact. You told this court that you stopped Mr. Harris because he was black. That's the first thing that came out of your mouth. Am I wrong? Bailey flailed. He matched the description. Then you said, look at him. He's black. That appears to be the only reason you stopped him. He was sitting on a park bench, minding his own business. There's no official description in the police documentation. No witness, no written report. But we do have a video. A video that contradicts your entire narrative. Bailey's voice was a whisper now. Sir, I was just trying to keep the streets safe. He looked suspicious. The judge cut him off. You've already lied once in my courtroom. I have not, sir. Are you really going to stand here and tell me that wasn't you in that video? That wasn't me, sir. You're sticking with that? Yes, sir, that was not me. A long breath escaped Judge Alden's lips. Then he turned to Marcus. Well, since you insist on lying in my courtroom, I'll be the one to tell the truth. Mr. Harris, did you ever confess to this officer? Marcus didn't blink. No, sir. I didn't even know why I was being arrested. Bailey exploded. Criminals lie, Your Honor. The judge turned on him. Yes, and apparently, so do officers. He stood from his bench, voice rising. Matching a description is not a license to arrest. It gives you the right to approach, to ask questions, not to detain someone without a shred of evidence. Bailey whispered again. Sir, that wasn't me on the video. Enough. I've made my decision. Judge Alden faced Marcus fully. Mr. Harris? Yes, Your Honor. This court finds that you were wrongfully detained, humiliated, and targeted without cause. The emotional and reputational harm you've suffered is significant. You are hereby awarded $25,000 in damages. Gasps rose across the gallery. And let me be clear, the judge continued. The city will not cover this cost. Officer Bailey, this will be deducted from your personal wages. You alone will be held accountable. He nodded to the bailiff. Mike, take Officer Bailey into custody. Contempt of court. False testimony under oath. Bailey pleaded. Please, I've served this city for years. And now I know what you really are, the judge said coldly. I suggest you stay silent until you speak to your attorney. Am I clear? Yes, sir. Get him out of my courtroom. The bailiff approached, handcuffs in hand. Bailey didn't resist. The judge turned back to Marcus, voice softer now. Mr. Harris? Yes, Your Honor. On behalf of the Mango Park District Court and the citizens of this city, I want to offer you a formal and personal apology. What happened to you was wrong. It does not reflect the values of our court, our police department, or our community, and I assure you it will be dealt with. He gavelled once. This court is adjourned. And if you believe stories like this must be told, about real justice, about standing up and speaking out, then like, share, and subscribe, because your voice matters.